Could I just mention that Bulma's an idiot? Like, she could do so much better.
Than Vegeta?
I mean, he's a handsome man, but he's very cocky, like very like, shut up, woman, you know, like that. And
it's very much opposites attract, man.
I guess so. And
She's attracted to that work ethic.
I guess the bad man actually gets the girls.
She pissed him off when he was trying to go Super Saiyan, and Bulma was like, "Why don't you just ask Goku?" He was like, "Curse you, woman!"
It's like the man that they tell you, you know, not to worry about compared to you. That's exactly what Goku and Vegeta.
Well, the man not to worry about would be Mr. Satan. Talk about a guy who's just electric.
Oh my God, that's probably one of my favorite characters as well. Yeah.
Why do you like Mr. Satan so much?
I just this is Mr. Satan. Lift up your hands. I need your energy.
What was that weird chant that they were doing? They're like Mr. Satan.
It was like a cult.
Mr.
It wasn't like in sync. It was like Mr. Satan.
Satan.
Mr. Satan.
You would have thought he was Jim Jones, the way that these people loved him, you know.
And then Bulma's like, wow, he's pretty popular.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't blame the people. They just got the fucking world destroyed.
Yeah,
it was so funny, too, because they're like, Mr. Satan's the one fighting Cell, and he's like, yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm here to take down Cell.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is an action and role-playing game based on the famous anime by Akira Toriyama. The famous hero Goku is now a young adult raising his son Gohan with his wife Chi-Chi on their home planet of Earth. Their quiet life is soon disrupted as Goku, Gohan, and their fellow Z fighters must protect the world from would-be conquerors, maniacal androids, and magical creatures. Yeah, so we're back here with Two Bags with Teddy. We're going to review Dragon Ball Kakarot today. I'm here with Nash and Bo. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.
Very excited to review this game.
Me too. I had a lot of fun with this.
It might be the only chance we get to review Dragon Ball. See?
Yeah, unless they come out with a movie.
Ooh, they always come out with movies. Don't.
I mean, a good one though.
Now we're gonna get a comment in a couple weeks. Oh, new movie's coming out. You guys reviewing it? Thanks a lot, Nash.
Well, you know what? It's worth it.
No, but this was a good game. I really enjoyed this game. I give it props for the nostalgia, but there's obviously it wasn't a perfect game, like all games, but we'll get into that later.
Ooh.
No, but I'm curious how you guys felt about this game.
I would agree with you. I think your assessment of it's not a perfect game, but it's kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a perfect experience, but it's near perfect because you get to relive the anime. And I think that's the presentation of this game. They obviously cut out some of the story, but it looks so good and it's so immersive that you kind of get that experience of being a kid again. You know, I don't know how long it's been since you guys have watched the anime. It's been years for me. So it's like a rush of nostalgia.
I recently said to you, you kept begging me to watch My Hero, and I kept saying, I want to watch Dragon Ball. I want to watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And now this game literally put the entire Dragon Ball Z saga into one game.
Yeah, it's like a crash course for you.
Pretty
now
much.
You can watch My Hero.
I mean, this is the granddaddy of anime.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah,
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of anime, Dragon Ball Z is the cult classic.
It's so weird, too, for our generation, is that we all grew up watching it on Cartoon Network, you know? It had such great crossover appeal. This is the one anime where people who aren't fans of anime, it's Dragon Ball Z, they're fans of it. It's so mainstream.
And, yeah, you're talking to someone right here that's not a fan of anime, but absolutely loves Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you remember all the characters, all the big moments.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon.
Yes. Yeah, it's a classic.
And a lot of people hate on it now because it has become so popular, but I still think it holds up.
But, you know, with this game, most of the games they make are kind of similar with open world. With Xenoverse was kind of open world. But I want to focus more on the fighting because the fighting was so different. I was never a fan of like the Mortal Kombat style of fighting where it's just like the one camera angle and you can get backed into the corner and not move. This one, you can use the open world in the fighting.
Yeah, I think the worlds, too, the settings and the battle arenas really added to that experience because they were interactive. You know, if you punch somebody into a giant boulder, they would fall back. And
through the boulder, yeah.
Right. Yeah, there was actual physical presence there with the environment. And the gameplay, it's extremely fluid, very smooth.
Yep.
You had criticized, you said that you almost wanted you wanted it to be a bit more complex, the controls, more moves.
So this is like a double-edged sword with me. When I'm playing the game, It's like I want the combos with circle, box, triangle, shit like that. Now that I actually did it,
You didn't want it.
yeah, I kind of liked that it was just circle, circle, circle because it wasn't so complex.
You didn't have those traditional Mortal Kombat combos.
Right. But you had the supers, your supers there, but
I think it looked great, and it was just fun doing it because it reminded me so much of the fighting.
yeah,
You know, the way that
graphics
they
helped out tremendously.
Yeah, the graphics, the super speed, all the punches. The presentation was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the gameplay was unbelievable. I actually watched all the stories. I didn't cut through, skip the movies. And it actually, like you said, you get that sense of nostalgia. It brings you right back to you just sitting on your couch, just watching. And then you're out and going battling. I mean, there's obviously some flaws with the game itself, but overall, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think with this game, like you said, if they would have kept it in development for a couple more years and got like 95% of the story in there, because the first two sagas I think are really well done, the Saiyan saga and the Frieza saga. But the Cell saga is where they cut a lot, where stuff with Trunks, stuff with Tien, minor characters. Trunks is a fan favorite, but I think this could have been like a mind-blowing, the essential way to experience Dragon Ball Z.
Well, that whole Trunks saga was like 2.5 seasons.
Right,
That's
yeah,
tough.
there's a lot there.
Yeah.
Even when his confrontation with Frieza, that's like an episode. And in the game, he just pops out with that sword and dices him up.
I think
See,
the
but-
fight with Frieza was like 3.5 hours long. TV episode was.
Yeah.
I want that in my game. No, I don't.
That's what Majin Buu felt like. Majin Buu never ended. I used all my Vita drinks in the first Majin Buu fight, thinking it was gonna be it. And I had like 6 left.
That's when it got hard.
Yeah.
It was pissing me off, man. That Kid Buu.
That boy
scraps.
Majin Buu's like Fat Gum. Yeah, Kid Buu is a unit. But Fat Buu just took your punches. He wasn't even fighting. He was Fat Gum from My Hero.
Yeah, well, he had that dumb strength. He couldn't feel anything. I'm actually kind of fine with them cutting out some of the stuff in the Cell saga. And I'm completely fine of how they controlled the story.
I like how you could just create your party, too, during the side missions.
Yeah.
You could be Gohan riding around with Krillin and Tien, or Krillin and Vegeta.
Yeah.
It's a
Did you
weird
guys do
thread.
any of the side missions like that, or did you guys just story run the game?
I
Because
did
the story
everything.
run was like 30 hours long.
I was speed running.
Me too.
I did it all. Some of them were fun. Some of them were
Repetitive?
like, you needed to go get like golden antler, so you needed to go hunt down like reindeer or golden wolf meat or something like that, or fish. Stuff like that. And then like there was some where you had to go save somebody, and then those robots would come out and you fight them.
Yeah, the red ribbon.
It wasn't. I just wanted to complete the game as itself, and I'm still not really done with it because I'm fighting the over 100 level bosses at this point. Which, I mean, you don't have to do. The story's over and all the sub, missions are over. But I think it's just more of a challenge at this point. I mean, it gets incredibly hard.
Yeah, and, well, 100%ing a game is always fun. It's always like a cool personal
Yeah, it's like
accomplishment.
ADD kind of thing. Like
I enjoyed searching for the Dragon Balls, even though they were always in the same spot. It was cool,
I did
going
that a bunch
around.
of times.
Yeah. I would, like I said, I put Krillin and Tien in the party.
Yeah, I got the trophy. I got 10 times resummoning the Dragon Balls.
Oh wow, that's funny.
I was trying to get that bag one, and I was trying to get ripped.
Shenron's fucking
Yep.
cheap, dude.
Yeah,
All powerful dragon. He's like, here's 50 grand.
I actually be rich.
Pay off my mortgage, you bitch.
I want to touch on that. They didn't want to add anything on a negative. They didn't want to add anything meaningful to the game, which I understand because you can't beat the game in a few hours. So you do want to add the story, but it feels like they went with quantity over quality because they did add. It was very repetitive with the missions in the game, not the submissions, but the things you had to do in the game. It was repetitive over and over again. Go get these materials so I can make this, or go do this real quick.
I wish they would have done more missions like Piccolo and Goku getting his license, because that, to me,
Right,
that's
yeah.
peak Dragon Ball Z. And people say, oh, that's just filler. But instead of like gathering materials so then you can fight someone, it's do something that's quirky and weird. It's like
Do something in the story that they did. Like,
Right, that's what there's so much filler they could have given us, and that's kind of weird to ask for more filler in a gameplay, but that really brings the game to life. Going to Goku's house and telling Chi-Chi to make you a meal. I like little things like that in your game. The little like settling love disputes between Tien and Launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goku's traveling all over the fucking world to do.
you have Goku being Dr. Phil in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
middle
he's-
saving the world.
Dr. Love while he's always being killed and shit. I have to say this about Goku. One of the most endearing parts of Dragon Ball Z is he's such a great Superman archetype. He will beat the crap out of anybody, but don't ask him to do anything else. He is the most incompetent
100%.
Oh, he's an idiot.
character in the history of television.
Well, I'll put it like this and tell me if you guys agree.
Okay.
This game was 50% TV show, 35% filler and 15% actual gameplay and fighting.
I think it's because that 15% of gameplay, though, is a lot of gameplay. And to beat it, it was like a 30-hour adventure. And that's the thing. I was so immersed because of the world building. And I love this semi-open world concept.
I felt like a cop-out.
No, I love semi-open world because it has all these areas from the show. And obviously, they're not huge maps.
Yeah.
But they were big enough to feel like mini open worlds. And then to be able to traverse back and forth, that's something that I thought really helped make the world feel alive.
Did you ever feel like anxiety when you hit like the map and you see everything on the map? There's so much shit on the map to do. I would get like anxiety looking at the map, like, oh, I gotta do all this.
And the loading screens are terrible.
Yeah, that's a big flaw. Like, you can be going into the same place, a different place in the same world, and the loading screen comes up for like 2 minutes. It's like, that's kind of annoying.
How have we not fixed this?
Right, the loading screen?
Yeah.
I need a presidential candidate to go up there and be like, I will stop these long loading screens. Because we didn't have them for Super Smash. Super Smash, you got right into it, N64.
Yeah. Get it popping, and that's basically what this game
right
is.
Off the bat, yeah.
You're getting it popping,
To go back to the gameplay for a little bit, I love the cutscene combos when you would get 3 characters to all team up and just punk somebody. The fighting was just so fun.
You know the best scene?
Like when you go Super Saiyan, you know how the punches changed?
Yeah.
The controller started vibrating a little bit.
Yeah, and you would like go slow. You can see your guy in slow motion.
Yeah.
For everything I liked, there was like, for every 2 things I liked, there was 1 dislike. It was such like a mixed bag of emotions for me. But one thing I didn't like with this game, I hate nagging on this game because I didn't like it. But I'm doing it right now. But one thing I didn't like was how easy it was to go Super Saiyan. You didn't do much progression in the story to become Super Saiyan 2 and 3 and everything else. And they just did it in the cutscene. They became this all-powerful being
right, you
in
would
the
want,
cutscenes. You weren't doing it when you were playing.
You wanted that in gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, do something where it's like you have to get a certain amount of HP or punches off,
right,
and then you can become Super Saiyan within the fight.
Yeah.
It's difficult to become Super Saiyan within the fight. I had problems with, like, these are minor problems where you're fighting a villain where in the story you're supposed to lose to this villain, but you're beating the crap out of him and he's still talking shit.
Yeah.
I'm like fighting Frieza, beating the crap out of him with Vegeta, and he's like, ha ha ha, it seems you're not a Super Saiyan.
Can't believe us.
That's like to Jedi Fallen Order to when we reviewed it. We would get halfway through the boss, and then that's when it would just stop. It would do a cutscene, and then the boss would leave. That's what I love that about Jedi Fallen Order. I thought they should have done that in this one.
They
where
tease
you would
the bosses, yeah.
Yeah, where like you would get like when you were fighting Frieza, you would get like 2 or 3 into it, and then a cutscene would happen, and then he'll take out Goku.
Yeah, I was telling Nash that I wish that I wish there was a difficulty setting, because Frieza, he shouldn't be easier to defeat than one of his henchmen. Dodoria, I think I had a harder time.
Yeah.
He was probably the toughest one. These should be, you're so frustrated, you keep grinding it, you keep getting your ass kicked. But because of the drinks, the vitamin drinks, you could just prolong fights, where it was still difficult, but you were going to win no matter what. Like,
right,
I got a couple of B scores because I would just spam D-pad triangle to get my health back up.
Yeah.
That was actually the major flaw of this game, that lesser enemies like Android 20 and Android 19 were the hardest people to beat in this game. It makes no sense.
Tough, yeah.
And then, you piece up Cell. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
That's the major flaw with this game with me, where it decreases like the rating a little bit.
It kind of goes with the story though in the show because of how much stronger the characters get. Maybe Cell's easier now.
There's no way Android 20 is supposed to be taking you an hour and a half to beat, because he just keeps sucking you off for energy.
Grab you from behind and then like put his tail in your heart.
Yeah, no, he was straight up
pissing
just
me off,
sucking
man.
the souls out of these people. He's scary.
Second Majin Buu was horrifying with the long fucking
with the
long
tail,
thing,
with the Kylie Jenner ponytail.
I was about to say, you look at me all the time. I basically look like Majin Buu.
The big one though. He's cute.
The big Majin Buu?
Yeah, he's cute.
He's mad cute. Oh, hey!
Do you guys have a favorite character in Dragon Ball Z?
I don't want to steal yours, but it's Vegeta and Piccolo. We just love how he trains his ass off all the time, and is just always willing to scrap, but he just gets his ass kicked every time.
Every time.
And he's willing. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get up, man. And
that boy does scrap.
He's there
a lot.
towards the end.
I just love with the Frieza fight. It's like, you're gonna face your worst nightmare, a Super Saiyan. No matter what point in the story, it's if somebody mentions that Goku's the strongest, Vegeta's like, what? He just can't get over the fact. And he's always getting dusted, and that's why I love him.
I love Krillin, man.
See, like Goku's Michael Jordan and Vegeta's Patrick Ewing. So I think that I have a little more an emotional attachment to Vegeta as well.
Right.
So
I feel like I'd be
Guaranteeing
Krillin.
wins and never.
Michael was just always in the way, man.
He
Always
was.
in the way. No matter how hard he tried.
He's
Michael was-
Salieri to Goku's Mozart, you know?
Yeah.
Just different era.
What about
Yo,
you, Ted?
I
Who's your
forget-
favorite?
Krillin.
Why? Because he pulled a baddie?
He did pull a baddie, but he's always on the sideline. He's always there helping out. You know, he's not in the fight.
He really is just always. That's why I like Krillin too. He's there for Gohan, good friend to Goku. He's got the solar flare.
Yeah, he's always under. Yo, that fucking.
That's a good move. Yeah.
Yo, if you team up with him,
Yeah, no,
that's the way to go, man.
The earlier story fights when we were fighting, I think the Saiyan, Raditz and Vegeta, that solar flare, I was abusing it.
It was so funny when you were on the mic and he's like, yo, why is this guy Krillin wearing a toupee right now? I don't know why I found that so funny, but it
He
was
did
looked
toss
like
one
the
off.
episode in Seinfeld where George Costanza gets the toupee.
Yeah.
That was Krillin. And then
Or-
Android 18 is going to be like throwing it out the window.
Or Frank in Always Sunny when he wears the toupee as well.
So, did you guys like that the cutscenes were kind of word for word for the TV show?
Yeah, I loved it.
So did I.
Yeah, I really love that.
That was one of my favorite parts of the game. You know, you spoiled, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, The Last of Us that you guys were reviewing. I used to have just Ruben play the game, and I would just watch. It just brought me back to just like I said, I was sitting there on my couch just watching Dragon Ball Z.
I'll tell you this.
And then I was getting involved.
I can see why people wouldn't like that, all the movies and cutscenes and shit, because they do just want to play. But for someone who wants to relive the Dragon Ball Z franchise, this is the game to get and play.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I do have to say, though, that Goku is the worst father of all time. He's always dead. He's never there to raise his kids.
You know, Piccolo was his stepdad.
Yes, he was.
You know, and I could relate because I don't think I'm ever going to have kids myself or have a wife, and then I'll have to take over somebody
Oh,
else.
you
So-
see yourself as a Piccolo?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a Piccolo.
Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and of course we would like to thank our Patreon supporters. Without you guys, Nerd Soup wouldn't be Nerd Soup. Seriously, your support is what keeps the fridge full, so thank you once again for your support. If you are interested in supporting Nerd Soup through Patreon, visit our page and check out the different rewards we offer to our fans. If not, then no problem. We appreciate anyone who takes time from their day to watch our videos. So thank you to each and every one of you out there watching, and remember to like and share this video. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like it. Or don't.